Hey, what's up guys? So on the same theme as the C# link expressions videos I got going out there, I'm going to put this one on JavaScript array methods. In this video, I cover find, FindIndex, filter, map, and every. Okay, so to start this off, I've prepared a class called account and with the properties of ID and username. These are fed in through the constructor. I've also got an array of accounts which are populated with an account with the ID of 0 and the username of alpha, an account with the ID of 1 and the username of bravo, and an account with the username of 2 and the username of Charlie. So first looking into the find array method. So this method goes through your array and finds an element, the first element that matches with that condition. So here we've got accounts.find where x goes to, x.id is equal to 1. So we'll go through our accounts array and it will find the first element with the ID of 1. So here we only have one element with the ID of 1, and that's the account with the username of bravo. So if I run this on JS Fiddle, here in the developer console we can see that it's returned an account with the ID of 1 and the username of bravo. So if I comment that out again and comment this next one, so here I've got it trying to find an account with the ID of 4. We have not got that element in our array of accounts. So here it should just return, if I clear this first, should just return undefined. And there we go, it has. So if it finds the element that matches that condition, the first one is returned. If it cannot find it, then it returns undefined. That's your find. So the FindIndex method works similarly, except it doesn't return the element it finds, it returns the index of that element within the array. So here we've got the same condition, but it's account.findIndex or x.id goes to 1. So we can see in our array of accounts, that would be, again, this one, ID of 1, username of bravo. The second element in our array, so it should return an index of 1, because arrays are 0 indexed. If I run that, there we go, we get in 1 returned, so that works. So again, if the element doesn't exist in the array that matches the condition, so here, where the ID is equal to 4, now it will return -1. I'll clear that again. If I run that up, we've got -1. So if it can find the element within the array, then it returns the index of that element with FindIndex method. If it can't find the element within the array that matches that condition, then it will return a -1 to show that it has not been able to find it. So that's your FindIndex. So moving on to the filter method. So the filter method in JavaScript is similar to the where method in C# with the link expressions. So here we got accounts.filter where x.username includes L. So this will go through your array of accounts and it will find which elements meet the condition where the username includes an L. Now from that, it will return to you that filtered list where that is true. So if I go up to our array of accounts, we can see 3 accounts, the usernames alpha and Charlie contain the L, bravo doesn't. So we expect from the result of this filter to have 2 accounts containing alpha and Charlie. If I run that up, so I'll clear that again first, run it up. Now you can see 2 accounts inside there. We have the account with an ID of 0 and a username of alpha, and an account with the ID of 2 and the username of Charlie. So again, it's just filtered down from our initial array. It's left out the account with the ID of 1 and the username of bravo because that username does not contain an L. Easy enough. Comment that out again and comment the next one. So now it's trying to filter with a condition that none of the elements in this array meet. It's where the username includes a Z. Obviously alpha, bravo and Charlie do not contain a Z or Z. Clear that console again, run it up, and we can see it's just returned an empty array. So the filter, where it does have elements in that initial array that meet that condition, it will return the filtered list or filtered array. If there are no elements that meet that condition, then it will return an empty array. So the map method. So this will transform the elements in that initial array based on what we're feeding in. So here we have accounts.map, x goes to x.id. So here we expect the result to be an array of the IDs of the elements. So if I run that up, we can see a bit clearly, a bit more clear. Run, here we have an array with the elements being 0, 1, and 2. So if we go back up to our initial array of accounts, the IDs that we have are 0, 1, and 2. So it stripped that from the accounts, feeds that to us as the result. This also works for any other property we could have. So here we've got accounts.map for the username. So I'll leave that. If I run it, here we can see that the result is an array of 3 strings, Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. Clear that. Come back to new and comment the next one. So as an example of how we could use the map method, here we've got accounts.map, and then we're modifying that string that's returned from what we had previously, where it's just feeding back the username. Here we're feeding back the username, but with @bowtechnology.com appended to it. So we could use this to generate an array of possible emails, for example. So if I run this up, whereas before we had an array of Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie fed back to us, now we've got an array with those usernames with @bowtechnology.com appended to each of them. Comment that out and clear the console again. Okay, so the every method. So the every method for JavaScript arrays will go through each element in that initial array, the accounts array in this case, and check that every single one of those elements match with this condition. So in this example, we've got where the ID is less than 5. If we go back up to our array of accounts, we can see that we have 3 accounts, IDs of 0, 1, and 2. Of course, each of them have an ID less than 5. So what we'd expect here is that to return true. Run that up, and there we have it. The result returned is true. Comment that out, and comment the next one. So here we're checking that each element in our array of accounts has an ID greater than 5. So we know that, in fact, none of our elements in that array have an ID greater than 5. So this should return false. If I run that, we're getting false. So that's where none of the elements match it. If only some of the elements match it, so I'll set this to if ID greater than 1. So here we can see that only one element has an ID greater than 1. So if I run that, that should be false again, because not every element does have an ID greater than 1. If I set this to -1, of course, then every element does have an ID greater than -1, so it's true. So that's simple enough. Thanks for your time. Please leave a like if you found this video helpful, and subscribe if you'd like more videos like this. Cheers.